Welcome to episode 17.
No, wait, we need to wait a minute though because
Is it already at episode 17?
Is it? Yeah, it is episode 17. Yeah.
Yeah, we have done. This is the first time we've ever done this back-to-back recordings.
Hey.
I have missed
do the intro
so
again
many
to leave
podcasts.
because I can do the intro again.
Yeah, do the intro for us, then leave.
Let's-
Just disappear.
I see. I like the idea, but this layout is far too messy.
This is a disgusting layout. Kit is just the center of my
actually,
world right
what's weird
now.
about it, like it's not even lined up.
No, this
Mine's
is
bit
horrible.
is longer than Kit's.
It's lined up on my screen.
Yeah, I'm the only weird part about it because I take up like...
The only thing that looks weird is the chicken.
Yeah, it's very out of place because somebody won't buy a webcam.
It's very out of place.
Someone's a dirty whore.
I will buy you a webcam if it means not having to deal with this horrible
Well, you're
layout.
supposed to buy me wine? Excuse me.
I've got wine.
I also have another thing. My room is extremely messy and I don't want to have to clean
Oh
it.
yeah, dear God, we wouldn't want a messy room, would
Dear
we?
God, what's wrong with that?
Anyway.
Holy shit, put some oil on your chair, Chris!
Terry was just cussing at me about this.
It's so fucking loud.
Don't you have WD-40 underneath your bed like me?
Underneath your bed.
I don't know, it's been there for years. Chris, please.
Chris,
All
I
right.
thought you were
All
done
right,
eating.
Well, okay.
He's never done eating. Put the Skittles away.
This is my dinner.
Weren't you just complaining about having to edit eating?
We're not doing a podcast right now. Kit's still here.
Wait, is that the cue?
I really thought he got up and walked away.
Oh yeah, it's the cue. Fucking go for it. I don't.
Good.
Cut out again. Okay.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Not Really But Kinda. And I'm out of here.
Welcome. I love that that happens every time he does that. It just doesn't recognize his voice.
It's good too because like he's he's still saying it and you still see his face doing it. But like
Yeah,
you don't
we got
hear
the
anything.
audio of it, but yeah, it's just dead silence. Oh my god. Is this the part where we put the intro in we just talked about doing in the last episode, where we're going to introduce ourselves and tell us what the show is about?
Sure. Welcome to Not Really But Kinda, the only podcast that does podcasts. As always, I'm here and it's for all these other people.
Yeah, we've got guests.
This is
I'm
actually
counting Maya as a
the
guest.
first crossover
That's
episode
fair.
we're doing because it's the Unhappy Hour, Not Really But Kinda crossover. So it's actually a really exciting episode, along with the fact that me and Chris also just did another podcast like 20 minutes ago. So.
Yeah, this is the first 2 podcast in a day episode, or like recording we've ever done, and we did about a solid hour on the last episode. No, it's pretty good.
It was fine.
We got
yeah.
got real racist at one point.
It did get very racist.
No, we
in a
didn't
weird
get
way.
racist. Kit got racist.
That's a good point. We should. I don't want to lump myself in with it because it was definitely Kit being like, but black people.
But like the black people's effect on Forrest Gump.
You'll have to watch the episode. It's very weird.
Hopefully it'll be out by now.
It'll be out. Well, yeah, no, like once if you're seeing this episode, I've already done the previous episode. I'm not an idiot. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
You're not gonna do this one before that one?
I could just make it really confusing.
Just put both of the episodes, stitch them together, and let
No.
them intertwine.
No.
I don't know.
So let's just
So-
jump right into it. So the human body, fucking dumb. I fucking hate the human body. Last
All right.
episode talking about how
All right.
uncomfortable tank tops make me. But let's just talk about the rest of the human body. It's fucking dumb. I have a list. So
Wait,
I have a
I need
list
to know.
of body
I need to know why
parts.
tank tops make you uncomfortable.
listen. They just do.
We'll find out eventually.
Listen, tank tops just aren't appropriate attire
Watch
for any
episode
situation.
16 of Not Really, but kinda.
You make too much shit. That's the first one. Who needs all so I wrote down earwax. Like, why is it something you ever have to clean? Like, if it's like a necessary function of your ear, it should never get out of whack, you know? It should just be like, we have the perfect amount, we're good. I don't even know what the fuck it does. It's just gross as far as I'm concerned.
I have a good rebuttal to that. I recently blew my eardrum out a couple of months ago because of impacted earwax.
Yeah, see? That shouldn't happen.
It fucking sucked.
That's fucking dumb. The human body should protect itself against that. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
No.
it
That's my
fucking
point.
sucked.
Saliva? Who needs all this spit? I drool like a Saint Bernard. I don't need it all.
I've had a sore throat for like the past 3 or 4 days because I was at Dragon Con, and that's one of the things. Every time I get sick, I feel very deeply on a personal level. You realize how much you swallow when you have a sore throat.
Especially you.
Oh, I swallow all the time, big boy.
He's gay.
And the gayest podcast on the internet.
This my list is kind of funny because I wrote earwax, saliva, and depression. But if you think about it,
Yeah, fuck that.
it is just like chemicals going nuts. And that's fucking dumb too. Why doesn't the brain be like, hold on, buddy, we don't need that much sad juice.
That's too much sad juice.
I don't need all of that.
Turn down the sad juice, boys.
Turn down for sad juice.
Yeah. And then related to just the general mouth head area. That's all that was actually so far. Why do you ever get dry lips? You got all this spit going on right here. Why is there not like a tube that feeds you a little extra bit so you never have chapped lips?
It's your tongue. You're supposed to.
Aren't you not supposed to do that? Doesn't that make it drier?
Yeah,
it does make it worse.
Wait, hold on. Do you guys' lips get chapped like really frequently?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if you don't keep up on it, I mean, because nature wasn't meant to have this shit. You know, Adam and Eve, not Adam and chapstick. Am I right?
Alright, fair.
Bullshit. I hate it.
Yeah, I keep a thing of I burn through chapstick a lot because I do get very chapped lips. I don't know why. It may have something to do with all the swallowing, but I get.
Maybe you should just spit more.
You just spit.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanna. Speaking of swallowing and spitting, I wanna. I wanna bring something up.
Careful, child.
Teenage boys, alright?
Wait.
Teenage boys spit their saliva so fucking much, and it's disgusting, and I hate it. Like, every single fucking teenager that I know, teenage boy, spits for no reason. Like, they're like, oh, I can't swallow my saliva because it's gay. It's infuriating.
You don't want to swallow. That makes
Now-
you gay.
No, I'm no longer a teenager. That was long ago now. But I could say in all of those years, however many of them there are, I don't think that was ever an issue for me. Where I'm like, oh,
No.
just spitting all over the goddamn place.
It's fucking ridiculous. Like, the second you go outside, a teenage boy will just like, you know?
I think
See,
people
this is
just
why
don't
she
like you.
needs a
Yeah, you
camera
made-
so she can explain this more to us, so we can see her facial expressions.
This is
yeah.
Maine.
Oh,
we're
you don't want to
talking
see my
about.
facial expressions while I'm doing that.
In the South, it's a big thing because everybody dips. Everybody's got chewing tobacco within their body, so everyone's just like. It's
And then
disgusting.
ping-dong.
Yeah, it's all spittoons everywhere you go. There's one in every corner. I see at least like 2 or 3 people just hawking up a nasty lug of,
And it's like
of tobacco
sludge.
juice.
It's brown,
Yeah.
shitty sludge.
And
that
that's
they're
like
spitting
the most
everywhere.
disgusting
It's so
thing
fucking gross.
is people that they'll walk around like their dip bottle.
Yeah.
And it's just this
Yeah.
bottle this full
Yes.
of just brown nasty juice
Yeah,
that
there was
came out of
somebody
these
in high
boys'
school
bodies.
in the band. He was he'd be in the back of the room on the drums, like dong dong dong. You know, he'd have his bottle like in
Yeah.
his collar.
Yeah,
Dong,
I
dong,
remember-
Dong, dong.
I remember like
fucking
my
disgusting.
favorite part of redneck high school was the people that would get caught dipping in class because they'd be sitting there and they'd have their backpack and all of a sudden they just go
Very,
Oh my god.
very
Class.
conspicuous.
and everyone be like, Gary, do you have a dip in your mouth? And no, I don't got no dip.
If we want to talk about so, all right, since I'm the resident high schooler here, I can keep informing you guys on the dumb shit that
You're in
happens
high
in
school?
high school. Yes.
She's a child.
It's a literal
Oh,
child.
so small.
So
She's a whore.
you know, maybe dip was a thing in your high school. Take a guess at what the new high school trend is that
Fucking
everybody's
fat
doing.
vapes, yo.
It's-
Absolutely. We had so many suspensions last year. Like, we had like a bucket of jewels in the fucking police officer's room in the school because he kept confiscating them because they weren't technically not allowed at the time.
We had weekly drug bust at my school.
Oh my god.
Weekly?
Yeah, weekly. Like I remember several times. We had the high school that I went to still has security guards, and you had to go through. I think it came up to a point where you had to go through metal detectors.
Holy shit.
And a year before I went there, there was a huge drug bust of 40 kids got arrested, and then the first year my freshman year, like 2 kids overdosed.
Jesus Christ.
And died.
What are they doing?
And then we would have to like go out of the class, and there would be drug dogs sniffing all of our bags.
Oh, fun.
Wow.
I remember that.
monthly.
We had that happen a lot. They would go through and send the drug dogs through about once a month. I don't know why that reminded me of this, but it's like a funny story, like relating to high school security after all those school shootings a couple years ago.
Oh, it's gonna be hilarious. Wait.
Oh, it's just tickles me pink. I think it was my sophomore or junior year of high school. They made everybody wear lanyards with name badges around them, and that
that started at our high school.
Backfired when people started choking each other with the lanyards.
That's how you get those breakaway ones.
They were breakaway, but people kept ripping them off, so people started duct taping them on, and then people were just getting choked. Because people
That didn't happen at my school.
Yeah, people would they'd be like, stole your lanyard and
They just died.
Snitches get stitches, you know what I mean?
Somebody stole his lanyard.
He's revealing trade secrets, and someone just yanked his lanyard.
Dude, we had this one kid at my high school. He was fucking weird. He had like a collection of lanyards. Like he would steal them from kids that didn't want them at the end of the year. His lanyard by like the end of the year was 125 feet long.
Why?
Holy
Who
shit.
needs that
It's
much?
fucking weird.
I have a whole other thing about just weird school shit. I don't know if I want to get into just now, but like, yeah, school. It's so fucking weird because there's a lot of fucking idiots. Like the one thing I'm thinking about is the fact that like there was like a drug trade, but with Mountain Dew in my middle school.
What?
So
There
people
was
would,
a Girl Scout cookie trade at my school.
and was it like go in the bathroom and you like sneak each other
Yeah.
shit? It's like
Well, it was in one of our teachers' classrooms. He would sell the cookies for his daughter, and so you come in secretly before class, or you come in secretly at lunch or after school, and you'd be like, "I want 2 Thin Mints." He'd be
I got you.
And then he'd like slide it, and then you slide over the money, and he'd hand it underneath your desk. It was a whole like mystery. He got caught.
Yeah, but like then what? Like,
He almost got fired.
but that's so fucking dumb.
It was so dumb.
The whole thing
We were
is
like,
dumb. Oh, he's
Bye, Chris.
totally dumb.
Bye.
Okay. It's not that wrong, but yet I guess it is. I mean, the people.
You are taking money from children. That
Well, I
can't-
guess-
even
I
though they're
guess
buying things.
the teachers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then he would get like hot Cheetos and like different kind of chips, and then he would sell those as well throughout the school
Oh,
year.
okay, that's
So it was a little,
Yeah,
but it
okay.
was still like it was fine.
Yeah, I guess at the very least, I could say that all the shit here was just students. That's good.
Yeah, it was a whole. Well, then kids at my school started to sell like Coca-Cola and shit
And
like
then
that.
Coke.
And then Coke.
And then heroin.
All of the girls that were the popular girls were addicted to Coke,
Jesus.
and they would go shoot lines before dance class.
My sister's a popular girl who's in dance. I wonder if she does Coke.
Yeah, she probably does.
Probably all the girls at my school were whores. So
Yeah.
I don't know if my school is just different, but we don't have a very large drug problem at all.
what state are you in?
I'm in Maine. The
That's
fake
why you don't have a
Allegedly.
long drug problem.
Allegedly, yeah. No, we have a lot of Juul problems, and in my high school specifically,
Jewel.
they're like tiny vapes. Yeah, they're like vapes, but a lot smaller, so you can hide them easier.
That's fucking
Oh,
stupid.
okay.
What are you gonna hide when you have a big fucking cloud of smoke in front of you?
Exactly.
That's why you
stick your-
that's why you
Me?
stick your head in the backpack.
Like, the police officers would stand outside of the bathrooms because they're idiots and they thought that they could get away from it in the bathroom.
Dude.
So the teachers would stand outside the bathrooms and they'd smell fucking bubble gum. So they'd be like, alright, well, I know something's happening in there.
Something's
Dude,
not
one
right.
kid was walking from one class to the other and took a hit from his vape, and he got tackled by security.
I want to see that.
All I heard is, "Yo, man, what the fuck?" And then we have a lot of I'm from Southern California. We have a lot of Hispanics in our area. So if it was fight time, you could damn bet that it was 2 Hispanics going at it.
Jeez, I thought we
Or
were
a
gonna be
Hispanic
racist
girl,
again. God
or
damn it.
or Hispanic girl going after a white girl for talking shit. And the
There were a
white
lot of
girl would
white-
get
there were a lot
the
of
white girl would get beat up.
fights at my high school, and white girl fights are the worst kind of fights. They get
Yes,
violent.
they are. Holy shit. One time,
What
a
are
police officer
they're
had
all
to
fun.
tase somebody.
They're all fun.
We had a suicide attempt at my school.
I had.
Like in the school?
In the school, yeah. Our school's only like 2 stories tall. Or my school was only 2 stories tall.
They got rid of that. That's how he. That's how he attempted.
No,
He
it's
took
still
down a story.
it's still there. I'm just talking in past tense. It
9/11
was like
bit.
sophomore year, and he got broke. I knew the girl too. The girl broke up with him, and then he decided he wanted to go kill himself. So he was gonna go jump off the administration building. And then all I could keep thinking it was just like, dude, the gym is taller.
If you're gonna do it, do
Wow.
it right. Dudes, have you guys ever seen the episode of Walker, Texas Ranger when
Yes.
Chuck Norris witnesses this like elementary school kid killing himself?
Oh God.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great
Dude.
family-friendly TV with good old Chuck Norris.
See, all I can
Remake.
think, not so much killing yourself, but on the roof, I remember, and I might have told this story I feel like I've told this on a podcast. I don't know if it's this one. But I remember 2 kids I went to high school with got in trouble for banging on the roof of my high school.
Why would you?
That's a very
Why on
romantic
the
spot, to
roof?
be fair.
Because just you can. It's a good view. I don't know. They just did it and they got in trouble. I
So-
remember that.
We have those like foldable stadium seats in our gym, and one of my friends got caught getting blown by his girlfriend in the back of those.
I remember a lot of people getting in trouble for giving blowies underneath the football stadium, like underneath the seating in the football
And
stadium.
in the football stadium that was in the grass, that's where one of the guys OD'd.
Oh God.
Holy shit.
You went to a sketchy high school.
You really did.
Like,
Because, like,
super.
I have not heard any rumors of people doing, like, sexual things on campus.
Because you
But
live in
that's true. However, my high school has had a lot of history where teachers bang students.
I got
Like,
another
a
one.
lot.
Dude, no,
But
I got another one. Hang
Here's
on.
the thing. They don't, like, they specifically wait until they graduate. Like,
Well, that's okay.
They wait until they graduate and then they immediately do it.
That's okay.
Would you like to go
That's been-
first?
Oh, mine's just like a teacher fucked the hockey team. It's not that fun.
The hockey
whole
team.
hockey
Entire hockey team?
That's so
At the same time or one by
casually
one?
like 30 people.
Was the teacher
know-
a female or?
Yeah.
Or was it
it was a female
okay.
teacher. Allegedly fucked the
God,
hockey
that must
team.
have smelled so
And then,
bad.
like one time, this kid got really mad, and she was like subbing for that class. And he's like, "Why don't you go back to fucking the hockey team?" And then walked out of the classroom. And I thought it was really funny. So,
The whole hockey team. That's a lot.
The drama teacher, I don't think he's there anymore.
of course, it's a
but
drama teacher.
It was way before I was there. It was back in probably about the 90s. He was fucking his student from sophomore year to senior year and got her pregnant junior year.
What
And
the
as
fuck?
and he was married. And as soon as she
Whoops.
turned 18, he divorced his wife and married her. They're still together and they have like 7 kids now.
Holy shit, that's true
Yep.
love. It's creepy, but it's true love.
Yeah.
That's a
Kids.
good pussy.
Yeah, holy shit. She must be so good.
Can I have that isolated soundbite of
Yeah,
Terry?
That must be good pussy.
Good.
And a little thumbs up.
I want to put that on my Tinder.
There you go. I should check my Tinder. Do an update from episode 2.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit, yeah. Have you gotten any matches?
Probably.
Our boy
I mean,
Terry.
Probably.
Obviously.
That's true.
Look at that drop dead gorgeous boy. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I know there was that one quintessential teacher that everybody said that somebody banged, but I don't think anyone actually did it. That was an English teacher my junior year.
Holy shit, why is it always English teachers? Like,
Mine was a government teacher that everybody wanted to have sex with.
Yeah, there was a guy
Everyone
like for the
wanted to?
like
that, alright,
Got-
Everybody
that's,
wanted to.
That's a good point. It's
Yeah,
always
there was
English
a-
teachers that students want to bang, but it's always like the science teachers that end up banging the kids.
There was like 2, but one turned out gay, and he started fucking one of the students
oh
after high
Oh,
school.
I have one of those
Oh,
too, but I
okay.
can't talk about it.
Why? Did you fuck them?
No, I can't reveal my sources in case the great agents are always bottom here. It's the law actually. So
It's the law, yeah.
that's why Tim never goes
Dude,
to Minnesota.
all the gay guys in my school kind of went off the deep end.
Oh, all of them collectively.
All of them collectively went off
Too
the
many
deep end. Like,
bottoms.
hopefully this doesn't go through the grapevine, but one of them went fucking AWOL and like killed his cat, and he was
What
on so
the
many.
fuck?
He did tabs of acid like 3 to 4 times a day, and some demon goldfish told him to kill his cat.
What high school did you go to?
A fucking
Dude, I got
terrible
some
one.
stories.
fucking like he went to like a CW horror school and
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny. We're the first best high school in this area.
That's
Like
It's a really shitty area.
No, it's not actually. We had we're really good at academics, mainly because we're probably on so many drugs. Really good academics, but yeah, we were like the best high school in our area.
So like,
That's-
did more
just had a
people
lot of
die in the
fucked
other
up
ones
people.
then?
Probably.
Yeah, if you're the best, that's not a very good standard. If you're like,
If the best
if
is
you
2
are
kids
the bar,
OD'd and a bunch of other ones just
Well,
went fucking
like,
nuts.
2 kids OD and
My-
everyone's banging, doing
my-
drugs. 2
my
kids
class-
OD and everyone else is at Woodstock.
My class was okay. It was kind of all the other classes. Like 4 or 5 people in our class went to like Yale and Harvard, and then like everybody else, besides like 20% of the class, 20% of the class like went to community colleges, but everybody else kind of went to a university. But everything kind of went downhill after 2015.
That's
Everything-
Ain't that
for
the truth?
everything.
This is the last good year.
Yeah, it was.
No, 2015.
Like,
No, 2015 sucked too. Don't.
No, 2015 was fucking horrible, but the classes have been slowly getting worse and worse and worse and worse, because I had a couple of friends that were freshmen when I was senior, and oof, they said it was bad. They said that like there was like 4 or 5 more drug busts
Jesus.
of like 40 plus people.
Okay,
God.
don't bring your drugs to school, kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
I
that
know,
hard.
and
It's like, yeah, why are you like? This fucking sounds sketchy as hell. I knew people in high school that had weed farms that didn't bring their weed to school.
Well, because
It's
it's fucking
simple.
dumb. Because of course, why
Yeah,
would
it's
you? That's
stupid.
like, get someone's phone number, do it later. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, you got your mom's sedan. You've got a weed farm. You've got enough money to get your own sedan.
Yeah.
like-
Go make a drug sale in a Taco Bell parking lot. Come on,
Exactly.
people.
That's what they're for.
There was like 3 areas that people would go smoke. There was the bathroom, and then there was like near the school is like a wash and like those metal huge things that you drive over, like the tubes so the water goes through. People would go in there and smoke or have sex.
Sometimes both.
Why they would want to do that, I don't know, fucking idea. But my senior year, somebody lit the soap dispenser on fire, and so they banned soap dispensers and they took it out of all the
What the
bathrooms.
fuck?
Yeah.
I remember, was my high school the only one that had the doors taken off the stalls? Because people kept
Probably,
doing
yeah.
No.
I
Yeah,
once
we had that
once
happen.
saw someone jerking off in a bathroom.
Ew.
That explains a lot about
Oh,
you as a
I
person.
just remembered something.
Okay, maybe my high school is pretty good. You know, I
Except you gotta
forget
pay for all
everything
this shit.
bad thing I said about it.
There was
Except
this
yeah,
one
we have to
kid.
pay a shit ton of fucking money.
What, do you go to a
So
private
bad.
school?
No, I go to a public school.
And you have to pay a shitload of money?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what we were saying last night to her. And she's like, "What? Why? Well, don't you all?" No.
No.
We
I
have to
actually
pay
robbed my high
$40
school.
as a senior. $40 so that we can afford graduation.
It's bullshit.
Oh, I think my graduation was like $250.
No, they make us pay anything. I just
I don't
took
remember
stuff from
paying
the school
anything.
and
Well,
I might have bought the gown. Or well,
Did you
I think
guys-
that's about it.
did you guys have like a grad night?
That's another thing. We also have
wouldn't
to
go.
pay for project grad.
I try to avoid all social situations, so there might have been, but I wasn't gonna go.
No,
It's
we
so
had
dumb.
no. Our grad night was pretty lit. We went to Disneyland and we had the whole park. It was like our school and one other school, and we had the whole park to ourselves until like 2 a.m.
Oh, I wonder if that was when they set someone's car on fire in the parking lot. That might have been ours.
People would do burnouts all the time in our parking lot.
I wish our like graduation like projects or not projects, our graduation like happy celebration things were that cool. No, they just lock you in the fucking gym for 24 hours after graduation so that you can't drink and drive. That's why they do it. You cannot leave once you join, and they take your keys from you.
I'm joined to begin
Live
with.
in Maine.
Exactly. That's why nobody goes.
I don't believe in Maine as a place after some of the stories you've told me.
Seems like a lot of bullshit.
We're all really, really like safe and scared of everything.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know why I'm talking
California
about
is not like that at all.
stuff in the parking lot, but I don't know why this reminded me of it. But I remember that, like, my freshman year of high school, there was this one really fat guy that drove a camper to school every day. That was
I
his
bet he
car.
lived in that camper.
He was like 400 pounds. His name was Mason. I remember this very vividly. He had a. I also now remember he had a what was it, the brass knuckles tattooed on his calf, and he
On his
drove
calf?
like one of those beat up 1992 Toyota campers that like rattles when it comes into the parking lot, and he'd park it in the back. And I remember because it would backfire every time he went to start it up. So he sounded like a gunshot. So he had to tell the resource officer before he would leave, so the resource officer wouldn't think there was a shooting.
Oh shit. Did you guys
Hey.
ever get like threats at your schools for a school
Yeah.
shooting?
Yes.
Freshman year, somebody made a bomb threat in the bathroom. We all got evacuated.
I think every single year since I was in 8th grade, we've had one bomb threat that has, like, kept us out of school for at least 3 days at a time.
They didn't do that. They just told
Yeah.
us to go sit out on the lawn.
Yeah, I go. Hope it's not real.
No, I remember one time in 8th grade, whenever, like, weather was really bad or starting to get bad, but we were already in school, we would see buses go into the parking lot, you know, to pick kids up, and then they would announce, hey, it's gonna be a half day, weather's gonna be too bad later on, so we're gonna take you home. So we all saw that one day, and it was really sunny, and it was really hot out, so we were like, what's happening? Why are there buses? And then they were like, don't panic, there was a bomb threat!
It's gonna
Can
be
you
a
go
half
on the
day.
bus?
It's gonna bomb today.
Yeah. And so, like, each day, or they would keep us out of school until they figured it out. Like, they would not let us back in at all.
Maine is full of pussies. Cause
Yeah, we
'cause
just don't want our kids
remember,
to die.
I remember freshman year of high school, somebody wrote a bomb threat on the fucking mirror in the freshman bathroom. And they just were like, all right, everybody go stand out on the lawn for like 3 or 4 hours in August heat because school had just started. And we all stood out there while the bomb squad came and combed the school.
I don't even remember ever getting evacuated for that. I remember them being like, we're gonna check to make sure it's not real, but just continue on and just make sure. Well, it's probably not real, so
There's a
don't worry
healthy
about
chance
it.
it's not a real bomb
Yeah,
threat.
come to think of it, we're, like, so cautious all the time. One time we had a lockdown because there was a man in a trench coat that walked around outside on the campus.
Dude!
Trench coats are real sketchy.
Somebody...
Trench coats are really sketchy.
So, my favorite lockdown... God, this is the most American story I could tell. My favorite
True.
lockdown... Somebody went streaking through the science teacher nobody likes classroom, and they locked the school down for 4 hours because of
Holy
it.
shit.
Because her room, it was a big room, and it had one door from the hallway, and there was another door that went outside, so you can like do science stuff or whatever. So the dude, you know, being naked, ran through the room, out the door, outside, and just ran off down the road. And they had to lock the school down until they found it.
What are you locking down for? It's not a
I don't
threat.
know.
He's already out.
I don't know.
Yeah,
They
he's
locked the
gone.
school down for like
just
4
a boy.
hours until they found him.
Maybe they just didn't want him to come back in again?
I don't know. It wasn't like some random dude. It was one of the students too. So I don't know, but it was funny.
Any
I remember
goddamn
that.
sense.
We
That was-
remember when they said that the world was gonna end back in like it was like December 21st or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
2012,
2012? Sometimes
Some-
I think that it actually did.
Some
We just
guy
didn't
decided to send a threatening message to the school saying that he was going to shoot up the entire school like the day before, because it was like Christmas break, right? Like, so like the day that we would get out for Christmas break, no one showed up to school.
Why would
So like
you?
in every single no, but it was just like people took it that seriously. Like I didn't even go to school, but one of my friends said like, yeah, no, our class usually has like 30-40 people in it. 5 people showed up.
That's always like when that kind of shit happened.
Yeah.
Not like the school shooting part, obviously, but like the threat.
But granted, like some people like went to, but we had like tests that day because it was the last day before Christmas break. But like 5 people
that's some
showed
bullshit
up.
too. Then
Yeah.
like, hey, happy Christmas, but take the
But
step
That
quick
was,
we're
first.
gonna
that was
ruin your
always
grade.
our exam week for midterms in high school. Was the week
Yeah.
before Christmas
Really?
break.
We'd always do it
Yeah.
like a couple weeks before, just so because they knew nobody
Yeah.
wanted to do shit before Christmas. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
we
they
always
always
did
did
it a
that.
couple weeks after.
See,
oh,
I
wait.
don't.
Oh, wait,
after
yeah, me
Christmas-
too. What did we do in December? Oh,
We did it like the second week of January.
Yeah, so we did ours. We did ours that last week before, and it sucked because nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody wanted to be smart. Everyone failed, and our teachers thought we were. It was wonderful.
I mean, not too horribly wrong.
Yeah, I mean they're not, but I mean to be fair, once you get through Christmas break, no one's gonna remember anything anyway.
Yeah, it's
So
like it's like a complete
it's a very flawed
wipe.
system.
Yeah.
Now I'm in college and my Christmas breaks are a month long.
Yeah, which makes it even worse because like I just like it'll be like December 11th or something, you know. It'll be early on in the month,
Yeah.
and then you're gone for a month, and then you have to go back all of a sudden.
Yeah, I love I
Can't
remember
get
the
back into
first
that.
time like I got off or like the first Christmas break I had in college. It was like December 3rd. My mom was like, "What are you doing home?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
go
"I'm
back.
off," and she's like, "Well, when do you go back?" I'm like, "Think like January 15th or something like that."
Yeah, it's insane. I love it.
Yeah,
I
that was the
wanna
best
go
part
to
of college.
college.
You know, we get
That
out
was-
we get out at like the week before Christmas, and then we don't go back until like February 1st.
That's a weird break.
That's
Yeah.
disgusting.
My college does a winter session, which is 4 weeks long. So they use the winter session. It's like a really accelerated program of like you do like 16 weeks of work in 4 weeks.
Why would you ever want to do that?
Die.
So you can get it done and over with. You'll understand when you're 4 years into college and you're barely transferring.
Fair enough.
Welcome to the dream.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah, I'm glad I only did 2 years of college and then got stuck in a job that won't let me work on my fake internet company.
Sometimes I just alright. I've never done a drug. I've never smoked a weed in my life. But
Never done a drug.
Smoked a weed.
sometimes,
Go on.
I'm your designated druggie.
yeah. Sometimes I don't want to go to college. Sometimes I don't want to work. So I consider, what if I just sold weed for the rest of my life?
For the most part, the drug industry worked for Walter White until he died.
That's
at the end.
true.
But like for
Yeah.
a while though, he
It
was
worked
fucking
for the rest
rocking
of his
and rolling.
life.
You could be like the midget version of Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
It depends on the type of people you want to deal with.
Oh, we have like so many rich people at my school. They would absolutely overpay for like an ounce of marijuana.
Of oregano?
I think you found your calling.
Of
then.
oregano.
Just
I
tell them
tried-
it's weed.
I never-
Lace it.
You're gonna jumpstart our stupid internet company with weed sales.
One time, freshman year, some of my friends were looking at Snapchat and they were like, "Oh my god, people in our class are smoking weed." And then I wasn't
not that
looking,
bad.
but I overheard somebody, like, they looked at the phone and they were like, "That's oregano," because they posted that they were pretending to smoke weed with oregano, and it was fucking hilarious.
You gotta.
Here we go.
I mean, weed has literally been in my life my entire life, because of my father, and I literally find no big deal in it at all. It's literally if you want to feel if it's my dad has used it for medical purposes, so I see the good in it. But if you like completely ruin your life of I can't go 3 hours without smoking, Chris knows that one. Without being sober, then it's kind of dumb. But if you use it for medical purposes, then it's good. But if you want to feel good for a few hours, like if you're at fucking Coachella, go ahead, smoke your heart
the
out.
whole time.
Yeah,
I was high the entire time.
I share the same viewpoint on only weed. Weed is like the only drug where I'm like, okay, I don't think
This
you
is not
necessary
wrong.
as a human for smoking weed. Although I do not like it when they're like, if it's somebody like under 25 normally, and that's only because like 25 is like, oh, when your brain stops growing, you know, and it's like finally done. I just like it's because it's so easy to get fucked and get addicted to things, you know.
You're a pussy.
I'm sorry, I pay attention in health class.
Well, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of studies of like, adolescents smoking weed that it does
Yeah.
have a really bad effect on.
Yeah,
on
Exactly. I just
on your
think
brain.
teenagers shouldn't do it.
No,
Young
they
adults, like,
shouldn't.
23, 24, like that's
But
like
20,
alright.
I say 21. That's the
Well,
thing.
no,
for,
because-
like,
because
Even
weed
alcohol.
is-
21, yeah.
Weed is legal here. I can go literally go drive down my street about 2 minutes and go get myself a joint right now.
You can go to your living room and get a joint.
Yeah, that
Family.
too. I can go pick out a couple of things and let it drive for a few days and I'm good to go. 21 is fine.
Yeah.
But what was kind of stupid to me is that, okay, so if I can vote by 18, how come I can't drink? How come I can't smoke? If I can legally make a decision that causes the president of the United States to get elected,
That's true.
I always thought that was weird.
why
too.
can't I smoke?
Yeah.
So you could
mean,
like
I agree
revert
with
it
and I
and say
don't.
you could revert it and you could say like maybe we should up the voting age to 21.
I mean,
I
there's,
disagree.
But that's an argument I've heard.
See, it's weird because it's like on one hand, I kind of the whole 21 drinking age thing. Now that I can say this when I'm 21, so it's like all you children who can't drink. I don't really know because on one hand it's like waiting the 3 years between 18 and 21 probably does give at least your brain more time to finish fermenting, but a lot of times people start drinking anyway.
Yeah,
And it
no,
really
if
doesn't-
you have an Italian family, for example, and you usually have a glass of wine at dinner with your family, starting at like 13. And especially if you're Hispanic, you're drinking beer by 12.
You're
like,
born with a cold one in your
You're
hand.
born with a Tecate in your hand.
Yeah,
And-
I mean,
because-
it's like that may be one of the things in the South, but it's like I feel like everyone I know at like 17, 18 was like, all right, let's go get a beer.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Maybe
people-
Maine is full of pussies. Because, like, there was one kid that got busted because he stole alcohol from a grocery store. Funny enough, the same grocery store that I work at. And then everybody just stopped liking him. Like, everybody was like, "That's not cool, man. You shouldn't be drinking."
What,
So
the
all the
fucking
fucking
Dude, that guy would get put on a
teenagers are
fucking
like,
pedestal at my school.
all the teenagers are just like, "Nah, man. No drugs, no alcohol for me.
I
I'll
still-
take
Maine,
sports and
Maine. What I'm taking
academics."
away from this whole episode is Maine is pretty much Dare personified as a state.
I still have the drug dealer that everybody would go to on Facebook, and he was the chillest guy. Nobody gave a fuck about him.
Yeah,
Even the
our drug
security
dealer was like that.
didn't give a shit.
Maybe the security was buying something.
I remember our like go-to drug guy in school. I very distinctly remember when he got caught with a bong. He didn't have any drugs with it, like any weed, but he had a bong in his backpack. And I remember one of the like assistant principals just being like,
You're going to a friend's house.
Dave,
Hey.
why?
Dave.
Why'd you bring it? And he's just like, just stuck it in there, man. He was like, just take it home.
Backpack though, I've never touched a bong or seen a bong, but
I'm shocked.
I hear jokes that they're like really easy to break. Like, aren't they easy to break because they're glass?
I don't
So
know.
it depends on the glass.
Okay.
Some of them are collapsible, some of them are plastic, some of it doesn't matter. You can make a fucking bong out of an apple or a pipe.
Apple.
Yeah, apple, banana, remote.
Maya's gonna lose a
bottle.
lot of innocence today. Is also what I'm learning.
I'm gonna learn how to make bongs, and I'm gonna make them, and I'm gonna sell them at school.
You're gonna
want
once
an
again.
apple?
That was one of the rules in our ceramics class that we had to take. One of the
can't make a
rules was
bong?
you cannot make a pipe and you cannot make a bong. Those are the two things you cannot make in this class. Everything else is
just
fine.
a banana. Don't worry about it.
The banana.
It's just
Why
a
you worry?
dildo with a hole in it that you can suck through.
Oh no, that's how she that's how she introduced the class. And she's like, if you make a bong, I'm gonna question what its use is for. Not weed, not anything else, because some people are fucking
Flowers.
nuts. Flower, it's a vase.
Face, put flowers in it. Don't worry about it.
It's a vase with a
Don't
hole in
worry.
the bottom.
Don't be such a fucking
Don't worry about
narc.
it.
Come on.
Narc.
Yeah, I remember. There's a lot of drug use in places that aren't Maine.
Maybe, you know what, maybe it could just be my perspective, because I'm like, I hang out with all the good noodles, like, the fucking...
Why
the
are you
worst-
with them?
I don't know. The worst thing we do is, like, sometimes we'll play D&D until 10 o'clock at night, and then we have to go home. Like, that's the worst I do. That's the most, like, oh, you're being irresponsible now. And, I don't know. I don't know a single person that I could go to and be like, I want to buy one marijuana.
I know at least 3 people in my contacts list, 2 of which I work with.
Yeah, no, I don't know anybody either now that I'm thinking about it. But, like, I know it wouldn't be that hard to figure out either.
Yeah, I'm sure because, like, I'm friends with a lot of people and my friends are friends with a lot of people, so I'm sure I could find a connection somehow, but I personally do not have any friends that could get me weed right this instant.
I'm just
Some
gonna call up
better
Dave real quick.
Yeah.
Just gonna call up my friend Joe real quick. and
Yo,
Chris.
what's
Chris
up?
can get the good stuff.
I don't have
Yeah.
any friends, so...
Wait a
I'm gonna text myself.
All my
Just
friends
go,
are in
hey,
this
me,
call.
how's it hanging?
Got any drugs? No, that's cool.
Oh, just your heartburn
No, but
medicine? Okay.
There
well,
was
we should probably take
this
that.
one girl that got
Tum,
caught.
tum.
She was kind of a bitch. She was really fucking weird. But she had a water bottle that was full of vodka. She took 2 tabs of acid before going to school. And she was fucked up. She passed out in class.
Can't say.
Completely. We didn't see her for 3 months after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I can't
Apparently
say
she went to
I ever had
rehab.
anything that bad. Nobody ever dropped acid.
Why would you want to
Oh.
drink alcohol while you're in school? Like, don't get me. I've never had alcohol, so I don't know what it does to you, like how it makes you
Fun
feel.
things.
Watch the
Have you
latest
watched
episode
Unhappy Hour?
of Unhappy Hour, and you'll find out. I'm gonna have to render it while I sleep tonight, but it's gonna be out.
Yeah, you need to watch Unhappy Hour. That's how alcohol
That's
affects you.
what
Yeah,
alcohol
that's
does to
either
you.
a
I've seen
PSA
that.
for drinking or not drinking. Find
Yeah.
out tomorrow. It's like 2 weeks ago from when this goes out.
At some point in the past, maybe, who knows? Yeah.
At some point, yeah.
I just don't understand why you would like trip acid before you go to school.
That's what I'm
Acid
thinking.
is a
the
little bit more
point?
questionable than alcohol.
Acid is a hallucinogenic. It makes
But
you
like
see shit.
school starts at like 8 or 9 or whatever. So you're waking up at like 7, 8, 6, whatever. And you're like, I know what I'm gonna do.
Maybe. All right. Yeah.
At 6
It was,
a.m.,
like,
I'm gonna
really
drop
weird.
acid.
Exactly. It was really weird because I was like, who the fuck gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning? Sometimes I know a lot of people that get up at 5:30 so they can go to school. And just like, I'm gonna eat a mushroom right now.
Yeah,
Munch.
nuts.
That was not uncommon at my school.
Like all
as
I've ever
fuck.
wanted in the morning is a cup of coffee. I don't ever
Yeah.
want anything else.
I just want my dark cup of coffee, no hardcore drugs.
You could bring in all that. You couldn't bring it in, obviously, but they wouldn't allow Starbucks to walk past the gate. You could not bring in Starbucks into the school.
That
was their,
is that
like,
Starbucks?
defined rule.
Just weed? Got it. All right, good.
No,
Just some Mary Jane.
No, officer. It's rum and coke. Got it.
Ah, that's fine.
Get on, you crazy kids.
What kind of rum you got in there? I got Captain Morgan in mine.
Holds the cooler and he's like, hey, look at that.
we had a 20-year-old at our high school.
Yeah, we did
Shocked.
too.
Yeah, I also had one. And then he
I
moved
had
away to Arizona.
High schoolers that looked like 20-year-olds.
We all had that one guy who was built like a brick shit house and looked like he had the
he
full
scared
beard
the shit out of me.
in the
He
7th
was
grade.
big.
Ours was Grant. He was
Grant.
7 foot tall, had a forehead like a billboard, and he had a beard in the 7th grade. And he
my guy
was beautiful. He works at Walmart now.
Dude, my guy was like 6'6", 400 pounds, and he would like lift everybody up that was close friends with him and put them on his shoulders. And nobody was too small for him.
It's fucking annoying. I hate
That's
people like
It
that.
was kind of annoying.
It's like, keep your
but
hands to yourself, sir.
Sir, gentlemen.
I hate
now people would be like, now people would be like, that's sexual assault. That's sexual assault. Be like, dude, he's just hugging me.
Do you really want to mess with a man that's built like that? Do you really want to accuse him of sexual assault?
Worth the shot.
think he could.
You never know.
I think he could tear down a friggin' house.
All
Sick
the
belt.
big, tough, giant guys have either been expelled or they graduated last year. My grade
Everybody's
has
getting
no
smaller.
big guys. That's not true. That is not true because I have one of my good friends is like 6'4" and
I mean, 6'4" isn't like that crazy.
no, but he's like fucking huge.
Yeah, but you're also like 4'9", so.
Okay. Listen.
You're that small?
We
No,
have
I'm
two
not.
midgets on the podcast
I'm
now.
I'm not. I'm an average height.
5'4".
Okay. I am
Wait,
5'5".
you're-
I am average height. Fuck
5'5",
you. Average height,
You
bitch.
are both very small people.
Very tiny boys.
All right. Wait. How old are you? How old are you? How tall are you? No, I meant those two, the guys.
Oh, Chris is like 6'2".
I'm 6'2".
Fucking
yeah.
shorty? I can't say that.
Yeah.
Can't say it without laughing.
Midget.
Fuck you up. Get up from this chair right now.
I will get up from this chair, pop my knees, cry, and then sit back down
One
in
thing I
that
noticed,
order.
One thing I
I'm
noticed.
21 and I feel like I'm 80.
I felt like that since I was like 12.
Tall people are really insecure about their height. I noticed this because one time my very tall friend, Joel, who's 6'4", one of our managers called him Shorty, jokingly, because she's very short and he's a fucking giant. And then he, like, texted the group chat and he's like, guys, I'm just called short. Like, oh my god.
And he got
I'm
butthurt
hurt.
from that?
No, I'm pretty sure he was joking, but
Okay.
no, like anytime
Pretty sure.
there's another dude that's like about the same height as him, and I say, "Oh, dude number 2 is as tall, if not taller than you," he's like, "Excuse me."
Okay, so I
needs to
take
fucking
back
chill.
I take back what I said on the last episode about Cartooner and his stupid like being not intimidated but like weirded out by weird shit like tank tops.
You're
Because I am
intimidated by
made
tank
very
tops?
uncomfortable as a tall person by people who are taller than me by a drastic amount.
I know
Like
what you're talking
if
about.
I see people, there's one of the people that I work with. I see him like once a week or so. He's like 6'7", and I look at him and
Holy
I'm just
shit.
like, no, go away.
Ladies, periods, am I right?
Yeah. Speaking about annoying body parts, vaginas suck.
Yeah, I don't know from experience, as you may or may not have guessed, but I mean, periods are a major flaw in the design of human beings.
I could rant about periods for like 2 days straight.
Please do.
I
We've
hate-
got time to kill.
You get headaches, you get cramps, you
Right.
get backache, you're bleeding profusely for a week. It's fucked. There's nothing good about it.
And
Oh,
then, yeah.
your uterus is just like, oh, you didn't get me a baby. You didn't get laid, pussy. And it's it's annoying.
It's dumb. It's
It's punishing me
major
because
dumb
I
flaw
can't
about the
get
human body.
laid.
And even I know that.
But I'm on birth control, so my periods aren't that bad anymore. So
But, like,
yeah.
the fact that
can
you need
power
to,
through
like,
it really
go
well.
out of your way to make it so it's not bad, though, it's dumb.
No, it's not just that. I don't want a baby.
Also
Well,
that,
among
yeah.
other things, I mean.
But when I was in high school and I wasn't on it, I still powered through it. I mean, I'm very lucky not to have bad periods in general, but it still sucks.
That's the worst
It
part.
still sucks.
Because you can't be like, well, I just can't go to work today because I'm on my period. Like, you can't, it's not acceptable to do. And at one point, like, because I get really, really bad periods. Like, to the point I almost passed out one time because of how much pain I was in.
Good lord.
It's really
awful.
bad.
It's awful.
And so, like, I was at school one day, and I was just, like, staring, and I was, like, clutching my knuckles together, or I was, like, closing my knuckles, and my knuckles were white, and then my friend was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No."
No.
No.
Not really.
And I
Kinda.
feel like people don't... I know my friends, my male friends especially, do not understand how much pain, especially when you're not on birth control.
Guys
It
don't
fucking
understand it
hurts.
until they have a girlfriend.
That's true.
Well, I would
'Cause-
assume
'cause-
even then you wouldn't really know. I mean,
Yeah.
That
It-
too, but like, because my boyfriend, he didn't understand it too well until he was with me, and he saw how much pain I would be in and how pissy I would be, or if I'm pissy, like if I'm pissy the week before.
Yeah, that's also killer, because I get
Yeah, that was
so
the worst
moody.
part. That's the worst part of all of it. Is
Yeah,
the
PMSing
anger.
is
Well, at least
fucked.
from the guy's point of view.
No, it's like,
Because
even
it's
for
just
me...
like-
Like, why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, even
Why are
for
you
me it's
belittling me?
bad
Right,
because
this
it's like
time.
I realize that I'm being like out of control and I'm just super emotional and I feel bad for it, but I'm still angry. So I'm still going to take it out on everybody and I know that I'm being a bitch, but it's like I can't help it. And that's the worst.
I can get super snappy of where the point I regret things that I say. It's super snappy. Like it's really bad. The whole mood swing thing really fucking sucks because I switched birth. Even if you're on birth control and you switch your birth control to something totally different, you need to fucking fix your chair.
If you switch your birth control, you need to fix your chair.
I've just been having this staring match with Terry for 30 seconds now where he's like, I can see in his eyes, I will murder you if you do that
Does
again.
this big long.
No, but I switched my birth control last month and I went back to my other one and I was genuinely suicidal again.
It's fucked up.
Again.
It's fucked.
It got really bad to the point of where I was crying like daily. I didn't know why I was crying. Everything in my life was going totally okay, but I was still crying and I was still depressed and I still wanted to kill myself. Like that's how fucking bad it got.
Periods?
And
suck.
that's disclaimers on birth control. It's like you will feel depression, you will feel this,
I'll
you
make
could
sure
feel
not to take 'em.
suicidal. Like you could have kidney failure, you could have a heart attack. Like we take that shit so we don't have to have kids or to lessen our periods.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
And like,
So yeah,
and
I'm
then
glad
you've got
my
some
dick
people.
doesn't spit blood once a month.
You have a lot of
terrifying.
people that like
I'm very glad.
they bleed so much they'll like pass out because they have iron deficiency because of how strong their periods are. It's fucked up. I've been trying to figure out a way to like try and kind of compare the pain of period, but it's really difficult. So the one that hurts me the most is back pains. Normally, I've heard that back pains aren't normally the worst thing for most people. I know most people have period like the cramps in the abdomen. I don't know how to compare that one because I don't get those ones as bad. But back pains, it's like if you were to work out for 4 hours straight, doing terrible technique and straining your back, so you get that soreness, but it's for a week. And it doesn't stop.
That's a good analogy. See, I get really bad cramps, so what it feels like, it's like somebody's taking a dull knife and they're stabbing it into your abdomen and they're slowly going across your abdomen, and it could come in like spurts or it can be just a solid like 2 to 3 hours.
Is it
of
like,
just
does it like
pain.
drag like that, or is it just kind of
No,
like,
it doesn't drag like that, but it's like they're slowly twisting the knife
Real long.
Yeah, I
into
know.
your ovaries.
Yeah,
I
if you
get like
could've-
middle back pain too, like up by my kidneys. That's where I get a lot of pain as well.
Yeah. Like the way my cramps work is it feels like if somebody were to just be inside of your abdomen, right? Just imagine it. And they're holding your
wrong with Chris?
intestines.
I muted
think he was
myself when I
coughing.
went on a coughing fit.
Oh.
So they're just holding your intestines, and sometimes they'll just crush and then kind of like wiggle them around, and they'll just keep like squishing them like you're making hamburgers, you know? They will squish them like that. That's what my cramps feel like sometimes.
Yeah, cramps suck.
Yeah.
And like my job requires me to be physical every single day, so I have to power through it. Even if I have like severe back pain that day, I gotta power through it, which sucks. I can't make a sick day and call in because that's unfair to a lot of things that I work with. So
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm glad that dudes don't have to put up with that. Because, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
what
Sure
really
are.
sucks is
You
when
gotta-
you're sick and you
Oh,
have your period.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
That's the worst. Because then
Oh,
you got like
it
the
sucks
terribleness up top, and then you have the terribleness down bottom, and everything
just
sucks,
terrible.
and you just want to die. And I don't feel like enough people discuss this terrible thing about periods enough. If you don't wear tampons and you only wear pads, shit overflows so fucking fast.
Nope,
It's just,
nope,
it's
I'm done.
honestly
Nope.
gross.
Nope.
It feels like, not only does it feel like you're wearing a diaper 24/7, if you have a super heavy flow and you don't change your pad fast enough, it feels like there's water
Niagara
between
Falls.
your vagina and a pad, and it won't absorb. So if you make one wrong move, you just got blood all over your pants.
Yeah,
It's
I'm glad
the
I switched
worst.
to tampons like within like the first like 3 months of me
And then, like-
first getting my period.
Another bad thing about tampons is, like, TSS, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's
You will
fine.
die
So
from
if you
that.
forget,
If you don't change your tampon,
you could
Like,
die,
you could die, or at least lose
or you could
limbs.
lose. Yeah, I was gonna say, or you could lose all your limbs.
Yeah, that has happened, and not only that, but like it's
So I
really
hope both of
uncomfortable
you
to
have
put it in.
girls when you guys get married eventually.
No, I think I'm just gonna
That's
die
why
that way.
I don't wear tampons, because they're terrible. I don't like them. They're so uncomfortable to put in, because then you just have something in your vagina all day, and I'm sure you get
yeah.
used to it after a while, but I
mean-
can't. So I just decide not to. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Nah, you get used to it real quick. Anyway, so we changed the subject.
Yeah, so
Anyway.
vaginas are terrible. I'm sure penises are pretty bad.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
dicks
Dicks are
just-
weird.
Dicks are just weird.
They just
They're
kinda
Dicks
hang
are very
around.
weird.
They just chill out.
It
I guess-
doesn't really do
Oh.
anything bad.
I mean, the worst part is if you're like, you can't be like, there's no hiding arousal. You can't just
That's
be
a
like,
that's a
Yeah.
really
you
good
can't
point,
be sneaky
because
about it. I mean, it's
Did you
just
guys
like,
pop a boner a lot in high school?
no.
Dude, I pop a boner a lot now.
Wait, Chris, have you ever had a boner on the podcast? Like completely
Yeah,
unrelated. You just had
probably.
it. Really?
Honestly, I probably have.
Probably have to.
Sometimes they just happen.
That's the weird part too, because actually, now I'm thinking about it. It isn't always arousal. It's sometimes just
Exactly.
Yeah,
like
sometimes you're just hanging out and it's just
happening.
like, "Well, I'm gonna show up for a while.
literally just
That's it.
show up. Just,
That is a really good thing. That's the only reason why I'm glad to have a vagina, because I
Yeah.
can think of like
I mean,
the
they're
most
not. It's not
hardcore-
equal though. I mean, like,
You're right. But I could in public think of the most like hardcore porn situation, and nobody would know. Nobody. would know.
Yeah, I do that. and
I mean,
it's like,
I mean, quite frankly though, I mean, like, I feel like I could too. I'm not 13. I'm not just be like,
You got
tits,
control.
boing. You know, like, it's just like, I'm okay.
That's true.
I'm a grown up.
Then again, I don't have a penis, so I don't know what the
Yeah.
boner situation is like.
It's,
Sometimes it
Although
just
I do wanna point out, one of my male friends has told us that he has a condition where apparently, I didn't know this until he told us. I didn't
like
know
where
that
this is going.
testicles are at two different levels
Yes.
naturally.
Yeah.
Like one's a little bit higher than the other. So he has completely level testicles. They're both equal. And yes, because several times in his life they have twisted. And he had to go to the ER.
Oh!
Yeah, they twist, and
No!
he has risked on several occasions losing one of his testicles, one or both of his
that's awful.
testicles.
I don't know what happened. That's I guess.
sounds
Here we
painful.
go. There's next on the list. Fucking your balls can just fucking do that.
I'm not okay. I'm not
The fact
okay.
that
I
that's
want
the fact that your body has evolved to this point, and then that's still a possibility.
your balls
is
can
insane.
twist. God, no!
In my profession, I ride horses for a living, and all the male equestrians that I know, we don't talk about it very often, but you can definitely tell because your legs are spread on the saddle, right? You're riding the horse physically. You can tell if they come off of a jump and they hit their balls, and they sit right on them.
Oh no!
Yeah,
because they kind of they'll like pull back and they'll stop and they'll go. I'm like, are you good? No. They're like, no,
They were cups, right? I assume you were
no.
Why?
No,
Doesn't that just hold it in place?
Yeah, some guys do, some guys don't. Just it's honestly preference. Like guys compared to girls, so girls sit up in the saddle a lot more than the guys do. The guys kind of like roach their back a little bit, so they don't sit right on their balls. Some guys wear cups, some guys don't. It's personal preference.
That's true. That's fair.
I was not prepared for all the ball talk.
I mean, we have to make it equal. We can't talk about vaginas for like 20 minutes and
Yeah,
not
but-
talk about penises or balls.
Quite frankly, dicks are just
It's
not nearly as
equality.
interesting. I think they're better used for comedy than anything.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Dick
That's
pic
true.
of
You
the
could
Other
be
than that, they're
funnier
just
with a
kinda
dick
like-
than a vagina, which is
Dicks are
sad.
annoying.
Vaginas
They
are
are.
sad, dicks are funny.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's our new shirt.
Vaginas are sad, dicks are funny.
But I mean,
Body hair is
got a
fucking
lot of
Fucking
it.
hate it.
Got a
What's-
lot
I
of
hate
it.
it.
What is the point? Where it's like, oh, it's
Very
like
hairy boy.
mammals. We're supposed to keep warm. It's never gonna keep us warm. No one grows nearly enough. Like even like the fucking
Well-
bear you've ever seen.
I think
like human
we're
bear,
I think we're at the point in evolution where we're starting to lose all of our body hair and we're gonna
maybe.
be silky smooth. Because like I know I don't grow hair on my thighs at all.
You
like
lucky bitch.
I know I'm very lucky,
whore.
and I'm not sure if it's because like just lucky genes or I just don't grow hair on my thighs, or it's because I've been wearing skinny jeans for so fucking long that they just completely rubbed the follicles out.
Lucky jeans.
Lucky jeans.
Dude, I got so
yeah.
much hair on my legs. It's like, this shit's buck wild.
But
Yeah,
it
no,
would never
my-
be.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
He's
That
a
looks like
werewolf.
a carpet.
But it would never be enough to keep them warm in the winter.
That's true. It never would be.
Yeah,
but
you,
I think
you can see this guy with a full beard. That's not keeping them warm necessarily.
That's true.
I mean, you get it like
But
really
I still think
frigid
we're
winter. I mean,
just in that like middle branch of evolution where we're losing the things that we don't need anymore, and body hair is one of them.
yeah, maybe. I wonder. I mean, it's been a long fucking time though since we've had clothes. So I mean,
Okay, boy, personal preference. Shaved or not shaved? You know what
Pussy?
I'm talking about. Pussy.
Bussy.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit
You don't
about
give a shit?
anything. Like I
But
just
okay,
don't
no, but
fucking care.
completely bare, some hair, or full on bush.
I don't care. As long as someone's clean, I don't give a fuck.
yeah, it's gotta be clean.
As long as somebody's willing to have sex with me, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
as
actually,
long
that's
as-
actually the
But
biggest. The
here's-
biggest
here's
thing
another-
is I don't want to have sex with anyone. That's a big thing. So that probably is why I don't give a shit. Now I'm thinking about it. But if someone's not clean, like and you can kind of tell, it's the worst. I can't handle it. Just like nope. Maybe that's why tank tops bother me, because it exposes more potential dirty bits. It's more filth and
But then
germs.
you said earlier, sports bras are fine, and that's even more dirty.
That's a
bits.
good point. I don't know what the deal is then.
Dude, boobs are gross.
I like
Really?
them.
I love boobs.
Boobs are
I know,
great.
I
like
like
boobs.
boobs too.
Mine are
I do
great.
too. But after a full day at the barn with hay
That's true.
and sweat
Yeah.
and dirt, all
Oh
in my
yeah,
sports
like
bra,
holy shit.
yeah.
Like under the boobs gets real sweaty real quick.
it's nasty.
I can only imagine. Jesus.
I mean, that happens between that's something that sucks. Like between the balls and the taint and the dick and the balls, there's a lot of sweat that accrues there.
Yeah.
And it's like if you're ever outside in a very sweaty situation, and you go in the bathroom, you can just kind of like peel everything apart, and it makes a noise.
It's definitely like a peeling everything up. Oh, you walk around, you kind of have to get your balls off your leg. It's awful.
If a girl decided to not shave her armpits, because that's a new fad that's apparently going on right now. Opinion.
I personally don't like it, but that's because I don't like anybody to have hairy armpits. I don't know why. I think
Even
hairy
guys?
armpits. Yeah, I don't know. I
That's a good point,
don't like
actually.
it.
Don't you
It
do
looks
it.
gross.
Don't you do it? Put it
I just
back
think
on.
it looks nasty.
That's a good point. That's
So at
always
least
like,
I'm like fair about it.
there's no like you could vajazzle a little bit, but you can't do anything with an armpit.
Vajazzle. That I've never heard, and I like that term.
You never heard vajazzle?
You've never heard of vajazzle?
I've
before?
never heard the words vajazzle.
Dude, bling bling,
Missing
your
out.
vajaj.
You can clean up pretty much everything else, but what are you gonna do with your arms? I mean, just any of them, any of them, all over the place. Not gonna do anything. So I guess I don't know.
That's it. You know what?
I
You
don't
know what
people
we
live their
didn't
life. I
ask?
don't give a shit.
I'm gonna ask this question, even though I'm gonna be probably the one answering it because it only applies to me and Emily. That is your name, right? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right.
This is Jim.
I just wanted to make sure.
No, my name's Jim. Nice to meet you.
Manscaping.
Yes.
Because we asked about
It
the female
exists.
version.
Okay. I got it.
Oh no!
All right.
I'm about to learn a lot about Pat.
right
I'm about
now.
to learn about one of my best friends. A lot of things that I didn't want to know. I'm gonna tune out for
Wait,
Tell
this.
us, tell us, tell us.
you didn't want to know? Come on, you're not like, you're not a little bit
You don't want to
curious?
get into your
If
best
I am
friend's
I'm
going
always
to
a
be
little curious.
sucking a dick, if I'm going to be sucking a dick,
Okay.
I do not want to have a bunch of hair in my mouth.
Exactly,
That's
right?
fucking gross.
Exactly.
But
Literally,
if a guy's
right?
completely
No.
bald, is
You just gotta try.
it's weird. To
I
me,
feel like
if a
just
guy is
that's. I think that's just part
completely
of
shaven.
hygiene, really. Just
Yeah.
making sure you're.
But how far?
Just a trim.
The question of the hour is how far north, like how far up the shaft? Well, I mean, it's fairly far up the shaft, but how far up the shaft do you trim just
How
to
hairy
bald?
is your shaft?
I mean, do you want to know the real answer?
That's true. I don't want a buzz cut.
A little.
Because I can give you a legitimate answer to this question.
Do you have
Give us a legitimate answer.
I made fun of you for having Chewbacca arms. Do you have a Chewbacca dick too?
Holy shit.
I do have dick hair growing an abnormally long amount up my dick.
Holy
Like,
shit.
not like all the way, but it's like
that's,
there's hair that comes out toward the top.
That is terrifying. I would
You are a
scream if I saw
gorilla
your
boy.
penis.
That's something that the world didn't need to know about me. But yeah,
You're turning
it's
bright
not
red,
like
honey.
it's not like I mean like hold on, let me get a knife
Let
as
me
an
get my
analogy.
dick out.
Like let me use this knife. It's like
Okay.
the bulk of the hair would come up like right here, and it's just little bits and
Right.
pieces up to the
Ew.
top. But I mean, it's still enough to be like
I don't like
it's
that.
weird. It's real weird.
Yeah, but like how you said, it's just general hygiene. It's
Yeah.
just, it's just
I want
That's true.
people
It is
to
like
clean
personal
themselves
preference.
and take care of themselves. It's all I want. It's all I ask. And no
Dude,
one ever
I'm going
thinks
to
it.
okay. I'm going to a concert on Sunday, and it's for a really big group. I'm not going to expose myself of who it is, but it's for a really big group, and people have been camping out for the past week to
Disgusting.
get.
There's gonna be some nasty
front,
fucks in there.
Like,
Disgusting.
and
No
I'm just
manscaping
thinking that
whatsoever.
is disgusting. And I'm sorry, but they're larger people, and larger people usually smell fucking like shit.
That was the
So-
worst part about Dragon Con is the BO from some of these big old boys that were down there.
Like
It's
they just
very nasty.
I had I want to call her a friend, but back in high school, but I'm pretty sure she showered every day. I hope she showered every day. But every time around fifth period, the smell would just be like putrid. Like I could not sit next to her. It was
Holy
that nasty.
shit.
I knew a couple.
And she was
people
heavier.
like
She was
that.
probably about 300 pounds.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she was 300 pounds, but she just reeked.
Mm.
I don't know why.
300 pounds. There's a lot of bits and nooks and crannies you can't get to when you're that big.
I'm always like scared. Like I know I clean myself. Like I know I clean myself enough, but I'm always scared that I smell.
That's
Dude,
that's
I
my
know
life
I-
here on
Because
here.
like
After the
here's the thing,
barn.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Heavier people do tend to smell a little bit more. I get it. I'm a heavier person, and I'm terrified that I smell.
Well, it's honestly just general hygiene. If you shower every day, like I shower twice a day because I work at a horse place.
A
So,
horsery.
but if I'm in my full getup or straight after the barn, and I'm going to go get things at the market, I know I reek. So I stay clear of people.
Yeah.
I stay like a 10-foot clearance away from people because I know I smell. I mean, it's just a check. Like if you're in like public, just go, "Oh, I'm good.
Woo.
All right,
Get a quick.
yeah." Get a
See,
quick
what
look.
doesn't help for
All
me
right,
is
I need
I
to
have,
reply. All right.
I have a terrible sense of smell. Like literally, I barely have a sense of smell. It's just enough there to where I can smell things. So I am very bad at sensing my own odors, unless it's real bad.
I'm very sensitive to smells.
I am too, but I still am scared that I smell bad. Like nobody's ever said that I smell bad at all.
Then you don't smell bad.
But I thought that was just common courtesy. I thought they were.
That's what I always think too. I'm like,
That
people just
stinky
aren't telling me
bitch.
because they're
I
being
mean,
nice.
if they're your best friend and you'd be
That's
like, "Yo,
true.
do I reek?"
That's true.
They'll be like, "Yes or no."
Yeah.
Good point.
Because I went to a convention with a friend like 2 years ago, and I was like, "Do I smell?" And she said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Cool, we're going back to the hotel. And we're showering real quick."
That's a really good point. She absolutely would call me out on it because I remember one time we were hanging out with one of our friends and we were standing behind him watching like, because he was sitting down watching a video, so we were standing behind him watching the video, and then she just, like, nudged me, and she looked at me, and I was like, what? And then I sniffed, and I was like, oh. And then she, like, called him out in front of all of our friends.
Oh, God.
Boy.
At least it was in a private dwelling. And to be fair, it's understandable for why he was smelling, because he was working on a boat, like, the entire fucking day, and it was really hot, and he didn't have enough
Boats are
time to go
stinky.
home and shower. Like, he showered before it, but he didn't have enough time to shower after it.
Feels like one of those things you make time for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way.
Like, I won't bother. Like, if I was, like, on a boat all day getting real nasty and then was just going to be at home the rest of the day, I'm not going to worry about it. But, like, if I know I'm going to be going off into the world, I'm going to...
See, it depends
fix
on
that
how,
shit.
because sometimes you just feel disgusting after doing something.
Well,
And that may
that's
just be a
Yeah.
thing.
too.
That may just be a thing because I live in the South where there's humidity. When I come in, if I'm outside working on something and I come in, I just feel disgusting. And I think a lot of that is it's like the sweat dries onto you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just real nasty. So I'll take a shower. If I've been outside working in the yard, even if I'm just going to sit here with my hand down my pants for the next 6 hours until I go to sleep, I am going to take a shower because I don't want to feel
Yeah.
like a real nasty boy.
Yeah. What is the deal with hiccups? Am I right?
Oh my god.
I
What
had
do
a
they
horse
exist
that had
for?
hiccups this morning.
That's
I think the
horse
sad.
horses got fucked up with this. It's just like, what is it like? Isn't it just like your diaphragm getting fucked up or something?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
diaphragm isn't on rhythm.
Constriction.
Yeah. It's like, how the fuck does that happen?
fucked.
It's dumb.
Dude,
there should
hiccups
be
hurt.
some fucking
It's a
shit in the,
muscle.
in
They
the
do.
thing to do the thing.
And my hiccups really suck because they normally last half an hour.
I get hiccups when I eat a large amount of bread. And
Only bread?
well,
Why bread?
it's I don't know because like I like bread and I like sourdough bread and a lot of times I'll just kind of eat it without a sandwich in the middle of it or anything like a weird person. And
No,
if
I do the
eat,
same
like,
thing. Don't worry, it's
If
fine.
I eat like 3 or 4 slices of the good sourdough, I will start to hiccup like a hiccup boy, and I won't stop for a few minutes, and I don't know
That's
why.
so weird.
But I always, if I eat a lot of bread, I'll start to hiccup. And I eat a lot of bread a lot, so I hiccup a lot.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
Honestly, come to think of it, I can't remember the last time I just randomly got the hiccups without eating a large quantity
I definitely
of
feel
bread.
like it happened more when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I've also never just been like, oh, I ate too much and now I'm hiccuping. So
Well, mine happens when I talk a lot or I drink a lot.
A lot
Mine
of things
happens when I
happen
laugh
when drink a
hysterically.
lot.
Chris, we know. I got on happy hour.
And Happy Hour episode 2, maybe it'll be out tomorrow if I remember to render it
I mean, it
tonight.
would have been weeks ago now. This is the future.
Shut
remember.
your cock holster, Terry.
Man, we got a lot of things that happened in our lives.
It's been very busy. Tomorrow's episode's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that with Kit. That's gonna be fun. We've secured Kit and Lady Kit.
And his missus. in
And
theory,
Mrs. Kit.
hopefully,
Oh,
allegedly.
it's date night, except only one date and then two.
Two people on the other
Two
side of the
associates.
country.
Yeah, we're all gonna cuss at each other and get really plastered.
Hey.
I have like 8 beers
It's the
ready
GoBicker way.
for this event. And 2 bottles of wine.
Go get a bottle of wine for tomorrow.
Dude,
Does
you should.
wine taste good? Because wine looks
Depending
good.
on the wine that it is, because there's like, I was actually having this conversation with a friend of mine. Dry wine. I hate dry wine. It's terrible.
How can a liquid be dry?
But I don't know. I don't understand
I don't
what
know.
goes into it, but I know dry wine tastes terrible. But I actually talked about this. Did I talk about this on Happy Hour? Or did I talk about this? No, I might not have talked about this at all. We did wine tastings at this convention I went to for work.
I don't think you talked about it at that.
Yeah, I don't think I talked about it on. I think I've talked about it to people. I
texted
haven't
to
told.
us.
Yeah, I haven't actually told anyone on a podcast. I went to a wine while I was working. We were waiting to take down for a convention, and we went to like 3 or 4 different wine tastings within this convention.
That's
Because-
just a recipe for disaster.
Of course,
Especially
it is.
for Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get real wild. There's gonna be some good stories on Happy Hour eventually when I get intoxicated enough to tell them. Yeah, puked in an Uber once. Anyway, and they had like, I remember there's some that taste just like grape juice. There's some like the coffee wine is one that I really liked, and I'm gonna try and go up to the place. It's like there's this winery. It's like 2.5 hours away from here, but I gotta go up to Charlotte next weekend, and I think I'm gonna try and go. It's just north of Charlotte. I'm gonna try and go up there and get some of the coffee wine because that's really good. I mean, it just kind of depends. There's a lot of different kinds of wines too.
I had a friend that was super bougie, like really, really, really rich. And so she had like expensive, like $200 to $300 bottles of wine in her
I
house.
bought
And I would,
$20 worth of wine from Walmart.
yeah, like give me a box of white wine and I'm perfectly content with my life. But the wine just tasted like absolute shit. You definitely have to like develop a taste for it.
That's
but
the thing
whole,
about
like wine taster kind of like this is from France and it smells like
Yeah, that was one of my
that's
favorite
just
parts. Because
bullshit.
one of the guys I was with, it was an event for like our biggest store. It's our flagship store. So it's got like all the fancy bougie people. And one of the guys we were there with, he would be like, "Yes, it smells like," and I'm just like, "Woo, that was good. Let's do another one."
Shots of
And I
wine.
remember like you can always tell like the gay black guy behind the counter of the wine thing was like, you don't fully. I'm like, come on. Let's do it. Come on, fill it up.
Go.
That was good.
Wow.
Give me another one.
That was good. Give more.
I mean, yeah. Wine people are a lot of wine people are very bougie. But like, this is a very unhappy hour conversation to have. But like, so far as alcohol goes, what I've noticed is very, very expensive alcohol tastes like garbage. And very, very cheap alcohol tastes like garbage. You gotta find that nice middle ground.
I feel like spending about $20 on wine is good.
Yeah, I usually spend about 15 to 20.
Red wine is usually very bitter. White wine is usually very sweet. It
I got a
depends
red
on
wine
it
today.
depends on the brand. It depends on the brand.
Red wine
Yeah.
looks like it would taste good. I don't know why. I think it's just because it actually looks like juice, and I'm a child.
Are you thinking about like TV shows? Because then it probably is.
Yeah.
But
No. Like
there's-
people go
Oh.
through work and they buy like huge bottles of red wine, and I'm like,
Okay.
that looks.
Does it
tasty.
taste like grape juice, mister?
I
mean-
should ask.
well,
somebody
there's
that.
there's this one Jewish wine. It's called Manischewitz,
I
and
think you
it
talked
tastes
about
like
that.
grape juice.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good, but it does have that alcoholic taste to it. Like if your parents ever cooked with wine and like a pasta or something, of like think of that like weird bitterness that's to it, and that's how
You've
alcohol
got,
tastes.
when it comes down to drinking, you've got to get used to that sharp alcohol taste
Yeah.
because it's in everything, and that's the biggest hurdle to get over that a lot of people have a problem with. We're training our future generation of unhappy hour listeners. You've got to get past. There's a certain bitterness, and I find this especially because I like whiskeys, and that's where it's the worst. Vodka might be worse, but I like whiskey.
Vodka's pretty nasty.
Vodka's terrible, disgusting. Only drink it to get smashed. But there's like this. It's like drinking rubbing alcohol at first, but then you develop a taste for the rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
It's like when I first. The best way I can equate it is black coffee, since that's all I drink. When you start drinking black coffee, it's like, and then you get to the point where it's like, this is all I can drink. Other stuff
I
is too
think-
sweet. That's pretty much the way it gets with alcohol.
I think if I ever decide to start drinking, I think I won't have to worry about becoming an alcoholic because I can't drink coffee because the first time I drank it, I didn't like it. So I don't drink coffee because I
That's how
didn't like
Pat
it
is.
from the first time I drank it. So if I don't like an alcohol, I won't like it.
Yeah, you gotta find the right kind is what I've noticed, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of diversity in alcohol. Because you can go like, as a beer person, dark beers, there's a certain level.
There's a taste to it.
There's what's the International Bitterness Unit or something like that, because I read about this. I went to a German brewery in Charlotte, and they had like the IBS or IBU whatever listing, and it's like a rating from 1 to 30 for how bitter something is. Like something is rated as a 1 is sweet, something is rated as a 30 is like eating acorns or whatever something really bitter is. Dark beer usually rates higher. That's the one that's like, you're just drinking this to get plastered. There's no good taste to it. Somewhere in the middle, light, like Corona Land Shark is where I like to stay. But
And then there's ciders, which
Yeah, and
is like
ciders.
Angry Apple Orchard, and it's like a sweet. It tastes like spiked apple juice,
yeah,
carbonated spiked apple
yeah,
juice.
it's
Ew,
yeah.
that sounds nasty.
No,
It
it's
sounds-
good.
Yeah, it's good. It is good.
Carbonated
good.
apple
If my-
juice, no fucking thank you.
If my boyfriend likes it and he doesn't like a lot of things in the world,
He
it's
doesn't.
good.
Hi Pat, I love you.
Hi, babe.
So yeah, alcohol's interesting because it's one of those things where you just kind of have to not be afraid to try new things, which is
Good
harder
thing
for
I'm
some
afraid
people.
to try.
Yeah,
because I
so you
grew
won't
up
ever
in
be an
Maine.
alcoholic. In my adventures, yeah, because like my thing is usually like if I go out of town with work, I'll get like a If I go to like a big brewery city, I'll go and be like, give me like a sampler thing. And they'll bring out like an alcoholics portion of alcohol, and I'll just go around the table until I'm good and satiated. And I find something I like. And that's the best way I've found to do it, at least. But there's a lot of breweries and like hipster IPA places around here because it's the South and we have nothing better to do but get hammered. But fruity liquor drinks are where it's at. That's the moral of my story. Thanks for watching.
We got good margaritas out here.
Dude, margaritas are amazing.
It's because I'm like 90 miles from the border, give or take. It's like an hour and a half if you go the quick way. So if you want good authentic Mexican food, I could literally drive down the street. If you want good authentic tequila, just drive down the street. Like, tequila's hard to get through. If you want to get plastered real quick, just take a shot of tequila.
Yeah.
What is the deal? This is the last
Terry,
thing. We'll wrap
I have to pee. We better wrap this up.
What is the deal with allergies? And I only wanted to include this because I asked Kit for it before we started this, and I thought it was a good idea. Like,
don't have to deal with them.
I don't either, but like,
and I hate it. My eyes are burning and my soul is destroyed.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Why like it's just like are like people who are like allergic to grass too. It's like how does your body get that fucked up where that kind of shit happens?
Yeah, because it's like I can feel now that I'm coming out of like the sickness from Conflu. I can feel the allergies coming out, which is why I keep rubbing my fucking eyes because my eyes are on fire because of the ragweed pollen that exists here, and that's one of the worst parts about living in this area is that like once a year trees just get real horny and they blow their load over everything and everything's yellow for a month, and I die during that month. That's a fun fact.
Like, tons of people do too. Like,
yeah,
tons of people
gets every year. Yeah, every year either the pollen gets worse or my allergies do, and eventually my head's just gonna explode. I hate allergies.
It's like twice a year too.
Yeah, it's coming back again right now.
Spring and then you got fall. It's fucked.
Mm-hmm. Trees just love
weather.
boning. Yeah, you live in the desert. You don't.
I don't have weather, nor do I have trees.
Yeah.
The only thing that really like bothers people's allergies around here is when they cut the grass, because we have a lot of golf courses and a bunch of homes that have grass, and so that's the only time that people seem to get really bothered. Or during spring if we have a good rain, because then a lot of flowers bloom. But the one thing that really bothers everybody out here is we have wicked wildfires. And
what a nuisance.
So it's such a nuisance. So like 2 weeks ago there was a huge fire in the mountains that, over there, like you can totally see
yonder.
it. Over yonder. And everybody was dying. Like that's the only thing that really bothers me is the smoke.
Yeah, smoke.
Yeah,
I remember
I
that
assume
when I
it
lived
would.
there. Smoke was rough.
I mean, I feel like
On top of
smoke makes more sense than tree jizz. You know, like
Yeah.
I mean, like smoke. You know, you don't like smoke 'cause it's danger. Run away. But pollen, it's like
Trees are terrifying,
it's all
dude.
over the place. I mean.
Oh my god, are you
body.
getting sick? No, the trees are trying to kill me.
The trees are just boning and it's making me sniffle.
Are you okay?
No, go on, please. I've
You
been
sound
doing
like
this
a
for like
chihuahua
3
barking.
I've been doing this for about 3 hours now. I'll be fine. I've been slowly losing my voice over the course of 2 podcast episodes.
Yeah, if you listen to 16 and 17 back to back, you can hear it get worse.
Yeah, like and the best part was like at the beginning of 16, I was coughing more, and now I'm just ragged and disheveled. Hey, welcome back to 17 by episode. If we do 18 next, it's just the end. I'm just gonna be sitting there.
Just get it over
We
with.
do 18 next. I'm gonna be doing my homework.
Nerd.
No, we're gonna wrap this
What
up.
a good little student.
Never does drugs. Only does homework.
My lives
Fucking
in Maine.
nerd.
Goody two shoes.
Now, I'm about to pee my pants.
So,
So let's wrap this
we're
shit up.
wrapping it up.
yeah, that's the cue for the end of this hour-and-a-half episode.
So
I love you all.
hold on. Let me do the thing.
Goodbye, internet.
Go to patreon.com/GoBicker, and even the dog love you get some shit early, except not all the shit because YouTube's dumb. GoBicker.com for all the shit. GoBicker.com/shop for all our fun designs of shirts and shit. Stickers. I think the stickers are the best. Make sure to watch Unhappy Hour. Comes out occasionally, just like
Sometimes,
this podcast.
not really, but kind of.
We have other
Kinda.
shows that come out
We're gonna get
occasionally
real
as
smashed.
well.
My voice is gonna be gone by the end of the day.
Chris is probably gonna be dead soon.
I'm gonna die
It is the end of the
tonight.
day.
Probably won't see Maya again for a while. I think it'll
Yeah,
just be me
it's
from
been
now
nice-
on. It'll be me
It's been
and
nice
maybe
having
Kit.
you for one episode.
I'm back. baby.
How do you feel?
except
How do you
for
feel
once.
being back on this podcast for the first time in like 10 episodes?
It's great. I know we're not going to record another podcast tomorrow, but now I can do something tomorrow.
We might.
Well,
you
there's
don't
other shit
know
we can
that.
do.
Do you want to be the sober one on Unhappy Hour?
That would be funny.
No, I don't.
I think that's...
Chris told me something that happened, and I would kill him.
Oh, yeah. I dropped the N-word last episode.
Oh,
Granted,
I'm
we've
very
done
curious to
that
see what this...
at least 3 or 4. It was in good taste. But we've done the...
Can it ever be in good taste if you drop the N-word when you're white, Chris?
I mean...
Can it ever be in good taste?
Louis C.K. did it. Good night,
Okay.
everyone.
I know a black guy.
Louis C.K. is a good person. Not really,
You're
but
gonna get
kinda.
shot.